Hey guys, Martin here bringing another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so today we are going to be doing the team building guide for the LR, Vegeta and Nappa EZA that comes out tomorrow morning on JP. Well, it's tomorrow morning for me. It's very late in the evening depending on where you are in the US. I believe it's like midnight or possibly even 1 in the morning depending on your time zones. Even later into the morning than that if you're on more of the East Coast side. But yeah, JP is coming out in less than 12 hours basically from when this video goes up. So we are going to have a very typical 10-stage LR EZA. 3 stones per stage, of course, be building all the way up to 30 once you've done stage 10. I like the fact the final stage is against Vegeta, and then every further stage if you want to farm Hercule statues. 30 stages, 30 stones in total. Sorry, 10 stages, 30 stones in total. There will always be, for the LR EZAs, it's always the same mission. Beat level 7 gives you 3 stones, so 33 stones in total for beating the whole thing. Now, as always, with the EZAs, there is a specialist category, and the specialist category for this one is going to be Earth-bred fighters, or warriors raised on Earth, as the translation was on JP. Now this one is an insane category. I mean, just look at the size of it, right? Like, normally when I do these team building guides, I pick out all of the best, like, top picks and honorable mentions. Usually though, when we get something like Pure Saiyans or something like this, I'm going to go through some of the best picks for the leaders and then highlight a couple of the units that will be the best to use. But obviously we're not going to go through every single possibility or we will be here all night. So remember, with an LR EZA, the specialist category is for defense. So when you go into the event, characters who are on the Earthbred Fighters category are going to take less damage when attacked by Vegeta and Nappa, or potentially just Nappa or Vegeta, depending which stage you're on. And then with an LR EZA, it's the legendary power link that enables you to do extra damage. So the more LRs you have on the team, the more damage you will do. However, you don't need to worry if you are lacking. I mean, obviously this category is so big it's kind of hard to beat, but you can beat these LR EZAs with full teams of TURs. I have done it before. It just takes longer, right? Because you don't do as much damage. So with this category, absolutely huge. You want to run as many LRs as you can. There's a bunch of free-to-play options in here as well, so there's just tons going on. The whole thing is AGL, of course, the enemy, so tech is going to be your best bet. So yeah, we'll go through some of these top picks and honorable mentions. Like I say, we're not going to go crazy in depth, but instead we'll highlight some of the picks that I would go for, and then you guys let me know down below in the comment section what your team build is going to look like for this Extreme Z battle. So if you do find the guide helpful at all, do hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new, but we will jump straight in. So obviously the go-to leader if you want to run any unit you want on the entire category is going to be, not this guy, it is the Tech Goku. I put this guy at the beginning as a reminder to not forget about him, because I probably should get that out of the way first, actually, now that I remember. There's always 2 units whenever an EZA is against a Pure Saiyan that someone in the comments will always mention. You didn't mention God Goku or Tech Caulifla. Because Tech Caulifla is not a warrior raised on Earth, but she has a 100% chance to dodge against Vegeta and Nappa. So if you're having trouble building a very strong team of full LRs and you want to have a unit that you can just absolutely, you know, avoid taking any damage, you would run her. And then of course Tech God Goku is a warrior raised on Earth because he is a Goku, and he has ridiculous damage reduction in this fight, so he's basically just not going to take damage. Now, the only thing is, with an LR EZA, as I've already said, you do want legendary power to be active as much as possible, so the more TURs you bring on the team, the more likely you are to get rotations with TURs on them, and therefore less LRs to go next to each other and link to get that legendary power active, right? So bear in mind, these guys, obviously very good defensive options, but anyway, back to the top picks. So the main leader for the team, one of them anyway, is the World Tournament Goku. He leads Earthbred Fighters and then has 30% extra for Battle of Fate or World Tournament. He is a tech unit, so in this event you don't need to worry about whether or not he gets off his chance to guard. He's obviously just going to be very strong defensively all the way through. He can take hits, build up, do a bunch of damage. He can nullify Ki Blast super attacks. He can just be very strong overall. Probably one of the go-to leaders, or the one you'll be using as the friend, unless you're using a full LR team build, which we will discuss some of the options for that. Of course, the other leader option is the Int Yamcha, who leads warriors raised on Earth and then has Earthlings or Turtle School. Depending on who you're actually bringing on the team, you can get more units on the full 200% leader skill with this guy than you can with this guy, because obviously you have to have Battle of Fate or World Tournament, whereas most all Earthlings are Earthbred fighters, and then Turtle School obviously includes all Gokus, so make a very good team with this guy. He has the built-in dodge. You have the active skill that you can use whenever there are Earthbred fighters in the same turn, which the whole team is going to be for this EZA, right? So you can use that straight away and just do a bunch of extra damage, which is really good. So Yamcha definitely is a great option as well. In fact, depending on the units you have to bring, you probably would prefer to run him as the leader, even if you have this Goku, and just run him on the team, because Yamcha will cover more people with the 200% leader skill. And then, of course, the other option, we have the AGL LR Kai Goku, who just straight up leads Turtle School for 200%. That includes all the Gokus. It includes units like this Yamcha, and then characters like Roshi and Krillin. If you want to make a full LR team, you can obviously go ahead and just use this guy as the leader and make the full team of LRs, and you'll always have legendary power active. He does have the active skill starting from the 5th turn when there's an Earthbred fighter, so you don't normally get to 5 turns in an EZA, but it can be activated when HP is 59% or below as well. So if you get to the later stages and you take a big hit on the 1st turn and then this guy's on the 2nd turn, you can obviously go ahead and use that active skill. He does have the ability to survive KO attacks. He also has the built-in heals, so he's just really, really good on the team for utility as well. And then next up we have God Goku. Now, you can't use same name units, remember, in an EZA, so if you're going to use this guy, you can't use Tech God Goku. But this guy has a great leader skill option, because Pure Saiyans or Hybrid Saiyans, you can obviously run a bunch of Gokus, Gohans, Trunks, all these characters that are technically Earthbred fighters, and then Power of Wishes or Exploding Rage get the extra 30%, so there's quite a lot of the Hybrid Saiyans as well as Pure Saiyans and Gokus that are on Power of Wishes or Exploding Rage. So don't need to say much about this guy. We all know him. He's a GOAT. Pick up 6 orbs. He has guard, dodge. He's just very, very strong. Definitely a solid option for the leader if you don't want to run the Tech God Goku on the team. So then we have the Orange Piccolo. Now, Orange Piccolo is more of a go-to unit to run on the team, but you can easily make a lead with him as well, right? Superheroes or Battle of Wits. Battle of Wits allows you to run other Piccolos, who are all, of course, Earthbred fighters. Superheroes would then let you run like LR Ulma Gohan, Pan, some of those other characters as well. So you can definitely use this guy as a lead. In fact, if you want to make a full LR team, you could quite easily run a double Tech Piccolo team. And with Piccolo in slot 1 on both rotations, getting hit, building up, doing all the damage, like this team would be incredibly good, and you would fly through this with a double Piccolo. And of course, the giant form you can use on turn 3 if all the allies on the rotation are superheroes, and then at that point you've just won, right? Because once you get to turn 3 in an EZA, you're getting close to the end anyway, and you could literally just transform into Orange Piccolo, put it on auto, and then you just win at that point, right? So Orange Piccolo, an absolute go-to unit to run on this team. And then, of course, we mentioned Gohan. Because him and Piccolo both have the guard early on, it doesn't matter that he's not Tech, right? So he can get some hits, get the key. Piccolo can get hit in slot 1 to give him extra key. And then, yeah, I say take hits and get key. I just mean take hits as in he can tank. Then you get the key with him, you do his supers. He doesn't get key from getting hit, but he works really nicely with like Piccolo in slot 1. He also has a leader skill that is very conducive to making a full team for this, because superheroes or Hybrid Saiyans, I think all of the Hybrid Saiyans are warriors raised on Earth, aren't they? Because it's all Gohan, Trunks, Pan, Goten. So his leader skill can very easily make a full team of Earthbred fighters, and then because of Bond of Parent and Child or movie heroes, you can easily get everyone on the team with the 200% leader skill. So Gohan will be very, very good as well. If you have the all superheroes allies, you can use the special beam cannon, which using it early, it doesn't do as much damage, but it does action break, which can be very useful. So Gohan definitely will be very good as well. Next up we have Birdku. He leads Powerful Comeback. Not the best team for making a full Earthbred fighters, but he'll just be very useful on the team. Very good defensively, gets hit and then hits harder after that. Has a revival in case you need it. Has the active skill, which you can use 59% or less HP, or starting from turn 5 or after you've revived, which you're probably, like I say, not going to see past turn 5. You might get the revive depending on your team build and how difficult you find the later stages, but this guy absolutely can be a go-to slot 1 unit for this team. and do some pretty decent damage along the way. Then we have the Sword of Hope Trunks. Sword of Hope Trunks, he leads Time Travelers. I mean, you could make an Earthbred Fighters team out of this, I'm fairly sure, but he's going to be more useful being on the team. He's basically just going to be there to be a very solid slot 2 unit, get off a bunch of supers, don't do a ton of damage. If he's got legendary power active, he'll be carving through the boss if he's doing multiple additional attacks. And then you can get to... you won't get to the standby, I don't think, because it's turn 5. So he's really just going to be there to be a slot 2 damage dealing machine. Not really much else I need to say about that, to be fair. He's on a bunch of these other leader skills because he's a Hybrid Saiyan, he's on superheroes, he's on a ton of these teams that we've mentioned already. We have the Go Bros, the LR, Gohan, and Goten. These guys being type advantage as well as having a ton of additional supers. If you have a Goku on the team or on the rotation, obviously they get a bunch of extra buffs. And we've already covered a bunch of Gokus. So this guy, this unit I should say, because it's 2 guys. This unit will be very, very good here. You can use their active skill from turn 3 if you are at 59% or less HP, which again in easy A's, especially if you're powering through with a full LR team, you might not see that low HP because it should be fairly straightforward, but with a team that's taking a bit more damage, getting that active skill, that's then going to do a ton of damage to the boss and potentially even win you the fight on turn 3, right? So these guys definitely very, very good as well. And their leader skill, Siblings Bond or Goku Family, covers a ton of the units that we've talked about already. So you could run double leads if you wanted to. Next up, we have AGL LR Gohan. He leads Kamehameha or Super AGL, so he can be a viable leader as well with all the Gokus on Kamehameha. He's infinitely stacking defense, although the event's not super long. He does have guard, so it doesn't matter that he's not tech. I mean, basically, he's just going to be a very solid unit on the team. Fits on a bunch of the leader skills that we've covered. Has a really good link set. He will perform very, very well in this EZA. Even if you do drop below the HP threshold for his guard, Extreme Z battles aren't particularly hard. So on like a full LR team, he should be tanking perfectly fine, especially if you've got dupes invested in him, link levels, all that kind of stuff. He will be performing very, very well. Next up, we have the AGL Spirit Bomb Absorbed Goku that got his EZA during the anniversary. He leads a Super Saiyans team, so you could use him as a leader if you need leads. I think with this category, it's just so easy to get other leaders that I can't imagine many people out there would be stuck having to use this guy as a leader. But post EZA, he can do a lot of damage. He does want to be on a more Super Saiyan-centric team, but characters we've mentioned like the AGL LR Gohan, the physical god Goku obviously is technically on Super Saiyans because he de-transforms. The Go Bros, like you could definitely make a solid Super Saiyans based team where this guy can shine. But even without that in this event, because again it's not the hardest, he'll be doing very well. Next up we have Youth Bulma, one of the best units in the game. I don't know why I said Youth Bulma, but LR Bulma. Now she is type disadvantage, but in LR EZAs they don't have the thing where one typing does a huge amount of less damage. And so even though she has type disadvantage, she's going to have guard for the entire fight because you're not going to go past 7 turns. And then she's just providing a ridiculous amount of support to everybody on the team, allowing them to all hit harder. So she's probably a go-to if you have her and she fits on one of the leads that you decide to run, which will be mainly an Earthbred Fighters based team. Obviously if we're running any of these units that require like, you know, Turtle School, superheroes, that kind of thing, she won't be on those, but she definitely can be a solid support unit. Then we have the LR Future Gohan. He leads Future Saga, which again, you can definitely make a full Earthbred Fighters team. Probably not the strongest one you can build using his leader skill, but he will be very, very powerful on the team. You probably won't see his domain. What turn is it he gets it? It's like turn 5. Yeah, so you're not going to see that really. But very strong defensive unit, even though he's got type disadvantage. He'll just be very, very good for outputting links and damage. He's a Super Saiyan's character as well, so fits on a bunch of the leaders we've already talked about. Then we have Tech Yajirobe. Now, I wanted to mention him as one of the few TURs because he's a very, very good slot 3 support unit, provides tons of support to the rest of the team. So if you have your team built so that you have LRs in slot 1 and 2 as your main rotations, this guy floating is going to give them a ton of support, and then they're of course going to have the legendary power link active, and they're just going to do tons of damage. So I definitely would recommend bringing him as a 3rd slot floating unit if you have him. as well as the Kid Goku. He's providing damage reduction, so not really a classical support unit, but if you are finding the stages a little bit tougher, this guy obviously is able to give damage reduction to the whole rotation if you pick up enough orbs. Plus his leader skill, you know, a full Dragon Ball Saga team is mostly made up of Earthbred fighters, so he could be a substitute leader if you absolutely need, but I think he's more of a, you know, if you need that little bit of extra defensive capability on your team, he can be quite helpful. And then last but not least, I thought I'd at least give a shout out, since we are in the Heroes season, hashtag Heroes Agenda, I thought I'd give a shout out to Xeno Super Saiyan Goku, because he has the Xeno, he doesn't, you know, ruin one of the placements for your Super Saiyan Goku because of the EZA same name thing, and he is a Goku family support. We've mentioned a ton of Goku family units, so he would be very, very good. So there you go, Earthbred fighters. I mean, look at this category, right? Even if we just start at AGL, like these guys, free-to-play GT duo, they'd still be decent here. Even older units like Future Gohan, Krillin and Gohan, they'd be fine. AGL UI Goku, like you see what I mean with this category. We could go through almost every unit. It'd be easier to say which ones wouldn't be useful. And even then, like, they'll have their own uses in some way, shape or form. Any of the tech LRs, if you just want more LRs on the team to get legendary power active, you know, the Gohan and Super Saiyan Goku, they would actually be pretty good as well, because they're a bit outdated for difficult content, but they'd be fine for an EZA. They put out tons of damage. Oob is good, has a lot of healing. Obviously the int LRs, we've got like the Super Saiyan 4 Goku, the Kid Gohan from the Z intro. Like basically every LR pretty much is going to be worth using, and then the category is just massive, right? So this is what I was saying at the beginning. I've highlighted some of the best units that I think you should bring, but you really can't go wrong as long as you know, I mean, I guess if you're a newer player maybe, but even then, like so many good free like Gokus, Trunks, Gohans available. So that's going to be it for the video, guys. Let me know what you guys think down below. What is your team build going to be for this EZA? What do you think of Nappa and Vegeta's EZA overall? Let me know all your thoughts down below in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been The Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.